Yesterday I picked up another bike from Facebook Marketplace in hopes of flipping it for a profit. So this is the bike behind me. I've not actually checked it out yet. We're going to do that in a minute together. We're going to give it a really good clean. We're going to check its current condition, see what it's like, if there's any scratches, if everything works, if it needs any parts. A really good service, make sure it's good to go, and then take some nice photos, get it listed for sale, hopefully make some profit. Let's crack on. I'm not worried about cleaning the brake rotors with soap because I'm going to clean them with brake cleaner anyway, so I'm not worried about that. The bike's had a really good clean. Now I can tell you a bit about it before we actually get to work. So it was listed for £120. It was titled something like mountain bike, that's it. It wasn't even any information about the bike or its condition. But after reviewing the photos and doing a little bit of research, I decided to hit the seller up and we agreed on a price of £110. So it's a 2021 Form Stanage 1. It's got 27.5-inch wheels, an 8x2 Shimano group set, SR Suntour suspension forks with a generous 130mm of travel, and Tetra hydraulic disc brakes. So when these bikes were new 4 years ago, they were going for £475. Now in a good condition, I think these are worth between £200 and £250, so providing I don't have to spend too much money, I should be able to turn a decent profit on this. So before I clean the bike, you can see here the cassette and chain were just covered in surface rust and dirt, so were the wheels. The whole bike just looked really scruffy. But mechanically, the bike is in a good condition, to be honest. There is that rear inner tube that needs replacing. I was made aware of that though, and I did find one other problem. There's an awful noise coming from the wheel hub. As you can see already, I've had my finger on there. Now everything else feels good on the bike. The forks feel nice and springy, the seals haven't perished or they don't need replacing. Even the brakes are really sharp, there's loads of life left in the pads and the levers don't need bleeding, so they're good. It is just those noisy wheel bearings that need sorting on the bike. And now that it's had a really good clean, you can see that it does clean up really nice. I still need to polish it and stuff. So the next step, I'm going to take this wheel down to the bike shop. They can rectify the issue, whether it needs a hub service or something like that. I'm going to get online, order a few cosmetic parts for the bike just to make it look a little bit better and help it sell. I'm obviously not going to go too crazy with the spending because the whole point of this is to make profit, but just a few cosmetic parts to help it sell won't hurt. And we're here at the bike shop. Oh. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Yeah, sweet. Perfect. Thank you, guys. See you later. Right, we've got the wheel back and I got the parts. We've got inner tube because the rear wheel is obviously punctured. So that was the first thing I had to order. The second thing, some grips. The grips that are on there aren't actually that bad, they just look pretty scruffy. And a new set of grips which were I think £7. For the sake of £7 it's going to make a big difference to the bike. And then a new chain. So I went with SRAM just because it was £5 cheaper. It was £9, the other one was 14 for Shimano. It doesn't really matter, they're both 8 speed, they're both silver, both got quick links. The old chain is actually fine, there's no wear in it, there's no stretch, there's just a few pieces of surface rust that I couldn't actually get off, so I just thought for the sake of £9 again, just buy a new chain. The wheel. So, the wheel has had a hub service. Yes, the bearings were very loose, and he told me they did need a service, so they've been serviced. I presume he's put new bearings in and greased it. Bloody hell, definitely greased it. Put some new bearings in and greased it. But he informed me that the noise was actually coming from the free hub body.
Is that the awful noise comes from?
Yeah, it does actually, yeah.
The actual hub won't really make a noise, you'll just feel that in, like,
When you're riding, yeah.
But that's what makes noise, because they've got really little bearings in them. Well, I can tell it's been loose, because where it's worn on the cone,
Yeah.
it's not where it should be.
Right,
and
okay.
The bearings have been sat on an angle. You can see here. So, where it goes shiny and pitted,
Yeah.
that's where the bearings run. But they're really low down, they're meant to be like perfectly in the middle of that.
Yeah.
They're proper low, so that'll have been loose and slightly out.
But yeah, essentially what he was saying is it's the free hub body making the noise and not the bearings inside the hub itself. Even though they were loose, so they've been serviced, it's this that's making the noise, the free hub body, which this sits on. Now he knows what I do, he knows I flip bikes for profit, so I usually take his advice when it comes to, do I get it done, do I not? To get a new free hub body, you're looking about £30. And then obviously fitting it as well as another £5–10, at which point it's sort of uneconomical. You may as well just buy a new wheel at that point, 'cause you can get a wheel for 50 quid. So yeah, we're going to leave it. It does ride fine, I've been assured, so what I'm going to do, get all this on the bike, give it a test ride, tweak the gears, give it a last polish, take the photos, get it up for sale. Let's crack on with that. I always like to pump these up, the old ones, just to see if I can find the hole, because there's still a bit of air in that. Oh, and if you squeeze it, I can't hear anything coming out. So I'll pump it up a little bit and then we'll find the hole. Mate, I pumped that up yesterday and it went straight back down again. Anyway, it looks like I can reuse this in a tube, and I've got that as a spare for another day. Who needs a tyre lever? Why is it holding air today but it wouldn't yesterday? I suppose I don't have to understand it. As long as it's going to hold air today, that's all that matters really, innit? So this is the old chain. It's not in bad condition. I've seen a hell of a lot worse, but there's just a lot of surface rust and stuff on there that I can't get off. And as you can see here, a new chain just looks 10 times better, especially in photographs and stuff. And I wasn't going to replace this chain, but I'm glad I did, because, so I don't know if you can see that, there's a very small hole there. And now it's just a case of getting rid of these last bits of surface rust and muck before giving the bike a really nice polish. And those brake rotors looked really clean on the surface, but just goes to show, clean your rotors, people. I'm finally back with an update for you. That footage was filmed about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I knew it was going to take a little while to sell because it's winter and it's the 1st of January, so we've just had Christmas, we've just had New Year. There's a reason why I've got 14 bikes at the minute sat in my garage that I just can't seem to sell, and they're all good price, but that's a story for another day. Now, it's been up for sale for about 3 or 4 weeks. Initially put it up for £250. After a week there was no takers, no messages, no interest, so I lowered it down to £220. It's been up for another 2.5-3 weeks since then, and then I finally got a message the other day. So a guy came up today and he had a look at the bike, really happy with it. I told him about the noisy free hub, he's fine with it, he knows it doesn't affect the ride. He offered me £200 and I accepted. So how much money did I make on the bike? Well, I sold it for £200, but how much did I spend on it? I spent £110 on the bike itself. I bought a new chain, which I think that was £9. I bought the grips, that was £7. And then I bought the inner tube, which I did actually end up needing in the end, because the day after that filming I went to the bike and the tyre was flat. Yeah, I also spent the £20 on the hub servicing at the bike shop. So that brings my total spending to £153 on that bike, and I sold it for £200, so it's a quick profit of £47. It's not too bad. You can help support me by liking the video and dropping a comment, any comment whatsoever, or just liking the video. It's greatly appreciated. Subscribe to the channel as well, it really helps. It just helps me build, so then I can put more content out for you guys. So yeah, any help is appreciated. I do have more videos like this coming, more bike flipping videos, maintenance videos, just all things bike related. So if you're into that type of content, stick around. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. See you later.